These benefits are what makes Section 8 investing one of the most superior real estate strategies out there. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest benefits to investing in Section 8 rentals. And if you're interested in learning how to get guaranteed rent from Section 8 rentals, go ahead and check the link in my description where I'm breaking down my entire $1 million Section 8 rental portfolio strategy step by step. Hey, I'm Nana. I've been in real estate about 15 years now. I used to host over 20 Airbnbs, doing about $250,000 in revenue every year, but now I own Section 8 rentals and have built a $1 million Section 8 rental portfolio in 2 years. So the first and most obvious benefit about Section 8 rentals is the guaranteed rent. This is the one that most of you know about. With Section 8, also known as the Housing Choice Voucher Program, the government provides low-income families, those with disabilities, often veterans even, with subsidized housing. And to do this, they pay landlords and organizations guaranteed income and rent in order to turn around and rent their properties to these Section 8 voucher holders. They will pay up to 100% of the tenant's rent, and they do this because of the very high need for affordable housing in this country. And there are literally billions of dollars allocated to Section 8 by the government in order to provide this affordable housing. And yes, even in this current administration. The second benefit is that the government often pays higher than average rent to Section 8 landlords. And the reason being, they want to incentivize landlords to actually participate in the Section 8 investing program. Because again, the demand for affordable housing in the country is way higher than the supply, than the actual landlords available to rent to Section 8 voucher holders. So the government wants to get you involved and get you to actually rent to these tenants. As a way to do that, they will often, in some areas, pay up to 120% of the fair market value of the rents. And often that means they are paying more than what you would get with a traditional rental. So let's say a 3-bedroom house in your neighborhood goes for about $2,000. Section 8 might be willing to pay you $2,200, a little bit over the current market value, in order to get you to rent to Section 8 tenants. Because again, their whole goal is to provide affordable housing, so they want to be competitive in the rates that they will pay you as a Section 8 landlord. And if you're interested in learning how to get guaranteed rent from Section 8 rentals as a landlord or even as a new beginning investor, go ahead and check the link in my description where I'm breaking down my entire $1 million Section 8 rental portfolio strategy step by step. The third benefit is that you're gonna have long-term tenants. In general, Section 8 tenants stay at their property, if they like it, anywhere between 5 and 7 years. And as a landlord, one of the biggest things you want to avoid is vacancy, because vacancy means you're not getting paid rent, which means you're not making money, which means you're losing money as a landlord. So having tenants that want to stay longer, and generally do stay longer, so you don't have to have as much turnover, and the cost of doing a turnover, meaning the cost of having to clean the carpets, maybe paint the walls, just even with normal wear and tear of someone living in a home over the course of a year, every time you have to do that, that's an expense. So the more you can reduce that as a landlord and a real estate business owner, the better profits and revenue you're going to have. I know some Section 8 landlords who have actually had their tenants stay for so long that they have completely paid off the mortgage with that rental income. Now that is a goal for me, because one of the benefits of being a real estate investor is leveraging the money that you are paid in order to increase the value of your asset, and having a mortgage-free asset means you're making pretty much pure profit after taxes and insurance. The fourth benefit of Section 8 investing is that you are going to have lower vacancy rates. Again, as I just mentioned, Section 8 tenants generally stay for years if they like the property they are living in, but also there is a huge pool of tenants waiting for available Section 8 properties. So you are always going to have a pool of tenants available to choose from. The average wait list to get a Section 8 voucher, even after someone has been approved, is anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Yes, years, depending on the city, the state, etc. So again, the demand is really high and the supply is not there. So you know the rules of economics. When you have high demand and low supply, you as the supply are in a good position. The fifth benefit is going to be how resilient Section 8 rentals have been over the last 50 plus years. They have been recession proof. So even during the Great Recession in 2008, when there was a housing crisis and real estate really wasn't the place to be, the government was still paying and Section 8 landlords were getting their money. It's pandemic proof. So in 2020, during the pandemic, Section 8 still paid. I actually was hosting all of my Airbnbs at the time, and I had a client I was hosting for. And when Airbnb initially shut down all reservations and refunded guests, the rest of us hosts were panicking, but this one client of mine was cool as a cucumber because he only had one Airbnb, but he had like 20 Section 8 rentals. So he was like, oh, no, girl, I'm still getting paid. Like, I'm not worried. I'm not stressed. And that's when I started thinking, girl, maybe I need to switch strategies or at least diversify. And here we are today. They are also government shutdown proof. So during the shutdowns in 2018 and 2019, the government was still making those guaranteed rent payments. And as of this recording, we are actually in a government shutdown now, and I was still paid on the first of this month. And money has been allocated and put aside for these programs. It's also job loss proof. So if your tenant happens to lose their job and maybe they were paying 20% of their rent and Section 8 was paying the other 80%, instead of you losing out on that 20%, Section 8 is actually going to step it up and now cover 100% of that tenant's income, because it's all dependent on the tenant's income. So if they don't have any, Section 8 is going to cover the entire amount. So you're protected in that way as well. It's also administration proof. So even with all the changes that the government is talking about, a lot of those changes to the program are tenant focused. So even if they were to put in requirements like only 2-year limits, etc., that would affect the tenant, but the Section 8 landlords are still going to get paid. Also, I really don't think a lot of those requirements, especially the one for a 2-year limit, are going to go through, but that's just my personal opinion. And a bonus benefit is that you are providing much needed, desperately needed, affordable housing in this country. A little while ago, Harvard put out a study that like somewhere between 50% of Americans cannot necessarily afford their current housing payments, meaning they are allocating more than 30% of their income to their housing, which is way more than the experts suggest. So affordable housing, don't get it twisted. It's not just low income people who need it. It's also your everyday Americans. So you are doing a much needed service by providing affordable housing and helping people around the country. And again, if you want a breakdown of my entire Section 8 investing strategy, check the link in the description box below. I am giving you everything that I do in my business to automate my Section 8 rentals, to get great tenants and not have to deal with the horror stories and the quote unquote bad tenants that everyone's afraid of, and to not deal with a lot of the government overwhelm that scares some people off as well. Now, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and check out this next one here, because when you add it with what you've just learned today, it's going to take you even further in your real estate investing business.